Ladies and gentlemen, welcome and a good afternoon here at Insomnia 46. It's time for a game that we've been playing here for the very first time here in the history of i-Series. It's time for Shootmania Storm. And they have been so kind supporting this particular tournament together with TT Esports, and they've been gathering teams throughout the entire weekend. Around 17 to 20 teams have gathered together, duked it out in the bracket, and managed to get one of the two teams managed to get out on top. So without further ado, let's get these two teams on our stage as they are keen to get their skills going. We're going to start off with our first team, a team that has probably more than 20 years of experience in gaming. It's Team Dignitas! Like a nice combination of Quake, Unreal, and, well, Call of Duty. So we have every single mixture in there. On the other hand, they literally took the entire bracket by storm, and they only managed to lose once, and that was, strangely enough, versus Team Dignitas. It is none other than Team Sterling! Coming in from the lower bracket and the consolation final. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get underway here with Shootmania Storm. I'm going to hand you off to NBC and Rusky.
Thank you, A-Spec. So welcome everybody to the Shootmania Grand Final live here at i46. I'm of course NBC, as A-Spec said. You're Dignitas Rusky.
Yeah.
Good to be here, of course.
Absolutely.
We've had a fantastic tournament. We'll go quickly through the group stage, I think. We did see Team Dignitas win 7-0. They didn't drop one game.
That's right. Very strong play from Team Dignitas. Anyone been following the scene, they should have expected it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, even online they've been strong. They of course went to Gamescom, finished in second place. We don't have tournament winners here this time, which was Eclipsia.
Yeah.
So that rematch will have to wait a little bit. But Sterling, the top UK team alongside Team Dignitas, they topped their group 6-0.
Yeah, we had the privilege of seeing Sterling in one of the Gamescom qualifiers. So they are a very strong team. They did impress me quite a lot online actually. So I'm looking forward to see what they can do in the final here. But either way, very strong team. Should be a good match, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we did see a match between these two teams in the upper bracket. Dignitas knocked them down 3-1, only losing Castle Crasher. And that actually surprised me a little bit, because Castle Crasher is their strongest map.
Yeah, it's a map that seems to be in every single online tournament anyway. So obviously a lot of practice on that map. But, you know, spirit of the day, Sterling had the upper hand on that map. So. Yeah. Very impressive.
Yeah, we'll have to see, of course. We are waiting. There's going to be two best-of-5s with Dignitas, of course, in the upper bracket. If Sterling do manage to take the first BO5, we will go to a second. But only time will tell. We're just waiting on the map list, of course. But whilst we wait, why don't we just introduce everyone to Shootmania a little bit? So let me get a bit of a cheer, guys. Has anyone here played Quake? How about Unreal Tournament? Garby, what do you think about that? More UT fans than Quake.
I think UT is a much stronger game in my eyes, but.
Excuse me?
Well, you know, this is your Quake background that I'm. This is why you're biased.
Yeah. What about some Call of Duty? Ah, come on, COD 4 was good, right? Surely. Alright. Anyway, on to Shootmania. So Shootmania played 3v3 format. Technically 3v1 in some respects, Risky, because technically on the attacking side, you only play with one player. Do you want to quickly explain the dynamics of that a little bit?
Well, the one player will have 3 lives, and he has a railgun which will instantly kill the defender, but he has 3 lives to obviously match against the 3 defenders. So they'll have rockets that will do 1 life, or take away 1 armor, if you will, from the attacker. So
kind of evens out.
Yeah, it evens out on damage from each player. So.
But of course, I mean, you don't have to kill the players. You can just capture the point. Basically, you've got 45 seconds when the map starts to make your way to the capture point. If you don't think you can make the capture point, you have to kill all the players.
Yeah.
Or if you can make it, you still want to try and take down 1 or 2, because obviously, like you say, those defenders have got 4 rockets each. So if you don't manage to kill anyone when that point opens up, for 15 seconds might I add, you're going to have such a much more difficult time, because not only do you have to capture the point in 1.5 seconds, but you also have to dodge 12 rockets coming towards your face with just 3, maybe 2 or 1 life if you've been taken down.
Yeah, we've been tagged up earlier in the round. So I think we are just moving through the maps in a minute, getting ready for the first map. So don't expect archways. It's a devilish map in my eyes anyway.
Yeah, I mean, with Shootmania, you've obviously got the spawn for the attackers and the spawn for the defenders. Now, some maps favour the other team more, but what you'll find on a map like archways, which we're seeing here, and I'm not seeing a Corvo next map this game, maybe we'll see it, is that...
There is a loading bar on my screen.
I can't see over the table, I'm a midget. Well, we'll get to that later on, I guess. Maybe we're going to see Fortress first, so we'll talk about that later on. But the idea really, in the most ideal situation, is to push your defenders out as far as you can. So that gives you more time to obviously eliminate life points from the attacker. But it also means you have the ability to fall back and alter your position a little bit, which is obviously going to confuse the hell out of the attacking team. And it also allows you to mix it up from round to round. And you don't want to be too static on defense. You always want to keep something in the bag. And even if it's something as simple as switching one player from position A to position B, so maybe you'll switch Garpy with Zacubus around, even that could be enough to confuse the attacking player of Sterling.
Yeah, you do seem to notice a lot of patterns forming from teams. So obviously spicing that up, like you say, will obviously set the players off guard. So
yeah, definitely.
Hopefully we are on Crossroads.
Yeah, Crossroads.
No, never mind. Go next map.
Is Crossroads even in the map pool? This is a very sort of debated map.
It's there are 7 maps in the map pool that was available for this tournament. So hopefully we are on our
I mean, like with any game, we've already almost decided on our map list, and we've had Nadio, tournament sponsors here with TT Esports, introduce a whole bucket load, but the players are like, we just want our maps, we don't want new maps.
Yeah, that's right.
You see it in Team Fortress 2, you see it in COD 4, people just don't take to new maps. So do you think maybe you have to get the players involved in the development of maps, maybe get those included in the future, or do you think that the Nadio guys can put out more of some of these already successful maps?
Well, I think it'll take the whole approach that Trackmania had with, obviously, you build your own map, and maybe if the community decide that this is an actual appropriate competitive map, then they will obviously take that on board, and I think we do have our map, which will be Fortress. Yeah,
this is a map obviously Dignitas upper bracket when they knock them down, so I'm probably expecting a Dignitas win, but it looks like a couple of these players are still getting ready. So again, I want to thank tournament sponsors Nadeo, or is it Nadio or Nadeo? Everyone says it's different.
I'm okay with either.
But anyway, we are going live here, the i46 Grand Final for Shootmania Storm, sponsored by TT Esports and Nadeo. It is going to be Team Dignitas going up against Team Sterling. For Dignitas, we've got Casper, Bills, for Sterling, we've got Casper, Bills and Sens. For Dignitas, Kawa, Garpy and Zacubus. Kicking things off, we are going to be watching Casper here on his attacking round. Let's have a quick look at what the defenders are doing here. It looks like we've got a pretty defensive setup, the red side of Dignitas there. I can't quite see the players at the back of the point. It looks like Garpy's on the right. We have managed to see Kawa push out toward this right-hand side cage, and that was going to be a bit of a problem, and as I say that, what a beautiful opening flag there on a Kawa. So just 2 players now remaining, 20 seconds to work with until this point opens up. He needed some brilliant rockets, wow. The noise comes out from Team Dignitas. Good first round this time.
Absolutely. Once the attacking player does get up onto the higher ground, it's very difficult for them to drop down onto that point, because obviously there is that cross format. We do see Kawa on the attack anyway. How he approaches this round, slightly similar to what we saw Casper doing, but just taking the next to the rail platform. 3 players still alive, and he does get tagged up with that first rocket. 2 armors remaining on Kawa, and nearly just getting tagged there by the other rocket from the Sterling lineup. Kawa, 20 seconds until this point opens up. There's the first frag onto Casper, looking for this, gets hit again, but able to take down Bills before his trouble. 1 armor remaining. Point opening up in 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, 1.5 seconds to capture this point. We're going to switch on to Senspov at the moment. He's that defender. He's got 2 rockets remaining. Only 1 life to eliminate.
Wow.
There's the frag. Going to tie this one at 1-1. And of course, here is Shootmania. It is the attacker to make the change of pace. If they can win an attacking round, that's almost all the work done for you, as long as you can continue to win those defensive sides.
Absolutely. Now Bill's on the attack, taking a much different approach to this map.
Yeah, I don't want to give away too much, obviously. I don't think the guys on Sterling are the most brilliant of headsets, some of them at least anyway. Nope, they have got TT Esports, let's take that back. So they shouldn't be picking up too much sound, but that grass on that right-hand side does mean you cannot be heard as easily, those footsteps from the defensive side. And there's Cower and Garvey going to shut things off.
Very strong play from Cower. Put them 2 rockets to the back, noticing the weakness from Bills there, and taking full advantage of it, MVC.
Yep, I'm going to look at who we've got now. It is Dignitas Garby, professional Great Wide player for Team Dignitas previously. Now here in Shootmania as he makes his way up this middle side. Last time we saw a very defensive setup from Sterling. If we have a look, we've got Sens, Casper and Bills all by that point. So the question Garby's really asking is, how can I find a frag? How can I move around this map to open up shots? And that is a very risky play as he drops down to walk this ramp. He's still got 20 seconds to work with. And that's the beauty of not playing against a defensive team that pushes out. When you get to the point very early on, a lot of time to work with, and you just find Casper to open things up. Still 2 players remaining. Garby has those 3 lives. The defenders have 8 rockets between them. If he can eliminate 1 more, maybe he can just dive on that point. But against 8, it's going to be very difficult. So let's have a quick look at the defensive ParableGames at the moment. He will connect with that first one. Garby swiftly manages to get away. There comes the dive to the point. It will be Sens and Bills to shut him down though. So still, no one going to win an attacking round.
That's right, Sterling putting up a very impressive defense. And we do notice that it's obviously a lot harder for the attacker. And with the current play that's coming out in Shootmania Elite, we do obviously have the defense putting up a much stronger force on these maps anyway. I find the Fortress, obviously, if you get an attacking round, that's probably your map. And we do obviously see Sens taking the left-hand side, able to take down Zacubus.
Yeah, I mean, what was he doing down there? He must have fallen down because that's just a very awkward position. You don't have angle on anything, and there goes Garby as well. Could we see Sterling taking early lead here? Just 1 more player remaining. It is going to be, I believe, Cower. I'm not going to give his position away too much, but we will switch on to him as he does make his way back. Now, point opening up, remember, 1.5 seconds to cap it up. And there's the frag dive on Sens. He's going to take the first attack.
Very nice.
3-2.
Good play by Sterling.
Yeah, definitely. This is exactly what they needed to do. Remember, they are coming from the lower bracket, so they do have to win this best of 5. And this is map number 1, would you believe that? And then win a second. So coming out strong, get the momentum in their favour early on. Potentially could scare Dignitas a little bit. We have got Zacubus coming up this time, not opting to take the grassy route at the beginning. And at least maybe notify the defensive position. Hopefully they've been called. Zacubus' position, that is, as he does make his way to the point. Where are those players? They're all over the point yet again. Still not opting to switch anything up here, but once you've got that 1 point lead on the attacking round, maybe you don't have to. Down goes Bills there. We did see a response from Casper early on. There's just 2 lines for Zacubus. 10 seconds remaining. Still has effectively a good 20 seconds to work with. Try open up shots. It will be Sens to find another one. 1 life for Zacubus. There's the shot as well from
Very nice
Casper.
by Sterling. Absolute phenomenal play on the defense there from Casper. Very nice, and he will be on the attack now, so momentum in his favour. Obviously 2 points in the lead ahead of Dignitas, so looking very good for Sterling.
Yeah, I don't want to give anything away here, but this is an interesting play. We have seen a certain player push down towards where Casper is, maybe. He's going to open himself up for that shot again. That's definitely what Casper was looking for. It would have been Cower. I'm going to say that one now, but Cower holding position, maybe Zacubus team caller is told him to sit back for this one. If we have a look at open perspective, where have we got the player? Zacubus all the way over there on the left-hand side. I still cannot see Cower though. We have seen Garby as well, so where is Cower? He has been known to ninja surprise attack in the past, but he was actually hugging that wall, not able to find a shot there, Casper. You can see every time the attacking player shoots off one of those railguns or lasers, the reload time comes into play. That's when the defenders open themselves up for firing off those 12 rockets, and they have managed to connect with 2 of them. There's the last one as well. Garby's going to find a very good use of that reload time.
Yeah, you have to say on the defense, like with the prong attack and able to put them rockets into the Casper from Team Sterling. But looking at Cower now, Call of Duty player before, UT before that, so obviously been around the FPS scene. Here we come on the
again, he's been allowed to get toward the point. This gives him a lot of opportunity. The problem is, you're still going to see these 12 rockets come toward his face, so it's going to be difficult to dodge for Cower, but he could even do a little jump here up on top of that wall, but it looks like he doesn't want to risk that, and he's instead going to play it cautiously. He's got 15 seconds until it opens up.
Absolutely. Just as you say that, able to, oh no, 3 rockets going into Cower there. Sterling, very nice lead. 2 points ahead of Dignitas still, so if Bills can get this final round on the attack.
Yeah, it is of course first to 6 here in Shootmania on every map, but you do have to be there by a clear win difference of 2. We call it tennis mode. I'm pretty sure we shouldn't refer to it as sports, but that's what it is. And to bring this one back, Dignitas have to win the next 2, which includes an attacking round. I have faith they can take the defensive side here. You can see the spam coming out. You can see that Cower go up here, Cower again. There's 5-4, but they still need to take this round to tie them 5-5 and then make max round 7.
Yeah, pressure is on Garpy. If the defense, like you say, able to take this round, they've got this map in the bag, feeling good. Pressure on Garpy now.
Yeah, well, I mean, the question is, where is he going to look for the shots? Because all of Sterling effectively just standing around that point. That means all the sort of hilly area around the side doesn't really give you a shot. Unless, of course, you've got a cocky little devil there from Sterling who wants to peek around and look for a long-range rocket. But realistically, I don't think they're going to give him that opportunity here in the grand final of i46.
No, definitely not.
We've got £1,000 up for grabs for first place, and that's definitely something you don't want to throw away. But look at this, Casper caught out of position, but Garpy just not able to connect with those shots just yet. And Sterling almost getting away with this one. But every time Garpy fires, you will see the players dart out and fire out those rockets, and one life's been taken away from Sens. So 2 lives now for Garpy, 1 life as well. Casper's going to shoot it down.
There we
First
go.
off in favour of Sterling.
Well played, Sterling.
Yeah, definitely.
Very nice.
Let's have a look at the scoreboard and see what we're going on. Yeah, we can look to see Sens, the only player to take that attacking now. That's exactly why they took map 1. Sens just pulling that one out for his team, and 5 across the board there on defense as well. Looks like they're all sort of in sync today this year.
Yeah. Obviously Sens, like you say, coming out on top, getting that attacking round. And a high-level player Shootmania, it is the attacking round that if you are able to get that on the map, that is pretty much almost the map is yours, to be honest. Obviously we'll be seeing, I hope we get to see the castle next.
Yeah, Castle's a brilliant map.
Yeah,
I want to point something out, interestingly, in the obviously upper bracket. Dignitas did lose a map to these, and it was map number 1. And then all of a sudden, Dignitas sort of put their feet into gear and really started to push forward. The next 3 maps were almost convincing wins for Team Dignitas, but I have to say, maybe Sterling have just literally found form here in the grand final. Not only that, but so far now they've taken away Fortress and Castle Crasher.
Yeah.
Team Dignitas now losing 2 maps in the tournament, so not going to be looking good, because I'm sure we're going to be seeing Castle Crasher later on as well.
Yeah, it'll probably come round again. Obviously, like you said, the best of 5 it's 2 best of 5. So if Dignitas do not close out the first one, then we are moving on to the next maps.
Yep, but second map here, guys.
We're ready now.
Yep, second Dignitas versus Sterling is going to be Team Dignitas to attack first. It is their map. That's what you do here in Shootmania Storm. And we'll have to see what kind of setup we've got from Sterling. Are they going to play as passive as last time? Of course, you do see the rocket spam coming in there from the defensive side of Sterling, something you will see here on the castle. Typical setups really is someone behind the right side wall, which is what Cower's going to be looking for now, but instead, no, this is actually, I've not seen this kind of setup before, having someone all the way on that upper right hand side wall. It could be an easy shot for Cower. Cower's going to miss it though, and there we go, finds Bills finally. Gotta say, not a fan of that position, but nonetheless, it is going to be one of those defensive players down. Can the 2 remaining players group up together and prevent Team Dignitas taking an early attacking round? That's something you definitely don't want to lose in round 1. That point will be up in 1 second. 1.5 and will take to cap up. The 1 rocket will connect from Casper. The dive to the point comes in. He will manage to cap it up. Casper not able to do enough. Just 2 shots connected this year. Out of 8 from both players. That was almost failed from Sterling.
Yeah, nice play by Cower. And we will see Casper, how he approaches the map, obviously very different, because there will be that rocket spam, and we do see that just float past there. But, does take a different approach.
Yeah, look at this. We've got two players from Team Dignitas in that middle area. I think it was Garpy and Cower perhaps pushing out. This actually gives Casper a really good position because he'll have angles on these players as they try to fall back toward their point. The only real chance the Dignitas guys have is to fall back on that far left-hand side, giving him the protection of that wall. But you can see Casper watching it like a hawk. And as I said that, one of the players pushed back toward the point. Garpy's there as well. Zacubus below him. Let's try and switch on to Zacubus as he holds position because realistically, Casper has to go past Zacubus. The air shots are going to be missed by Zacubus. So he takes the bounce pad. Why did he take the bounce pad? There's one of those lives remaining. 2 now for Casper. He's got 8 seconds to get to that point and cap it up. 1 life remaining. It's not going to happen. Team Dignitas with a 2-0 early lead.
Yeah, this is the ever famous Dignitas' defense on the castle. So we will obviously see Garpy now. He strong player, quick weight, as we said earlier. But again, it's all about the early approach to this map. Obviously, you end up with the same result. You go ahead towards the goal, but we do have the rockets coming out. But certainly don't see Garpy at the minute.
I mean, it's a smart play really from Sterling. If they push up too far, you get into the situation where they were in last time, where they, Team Dignitas were in. Thankfully, Team Dignitas managed to recuperate themselves, but maybe Sterling perhaps couldn't have done the same. Nonetheless, that's the first time. When you shut him down, the horn comes out. And well, one fan did connect, another one as well. Bills the player to go down, says you're not going, killing me for free. 1 life now for Garpy, points opened at 1.5 seconds. 1 life for Garpy, 4 rockets for that defensive player. It's going to be difficult for Garpy to cap up, but he will find the frag instead. The screens come out, 3-0 now for Team Dignitas. And Sterling, they have to find their feet now because this is a big lead for Team Dignitas.
Yeah, we do have Bills from Sterling now. We did see a very nice approach to the last map that we had on Fortress, but we do, obviously the Rocket's band pressure in his movement there, and almost fighting for his life, to be honest. It backs up into the corner, looking for obviously the player, but he will be taking a slower approach to the map. There's Cower, greeting him with some rockets.
And this is why I love watching some of these teams play that do push out, because it really offers some dynamic play. And maybe that's what Sterling perhaps need to do on their defensive sides, is push out a little bit, surprise Team Dignitas. Maybe they figured them out already. But that is a brilliant shot from Cower, albeit a little bit lucky across the map to eliminate that first life. I have full confidence in Bills, though, one of the strongest players in the UK now. Can he do it with 1 life? No, he can't.
Garpy, greeting him with them rockets.
Yeah, and that's the thing, if you cover that bounce pad area, there's only one way that attacking player can go, and that's through you. So,
yeah,
good play from Team Dignitas. And let's watch this rollout from Zacubus. Like you say, the start here on Castle is very important, because on one hand you can try and jump over the rockets if you're quick enough, on the other hand you can wait. But the spam so far has been sort of directed toward the ground, which isn't really helping anybody at the moment. And again, we're going to see a player get off for free early on as Zacubus will make his way up. This is a different approach to what we've seen so far. A lot of players do go down that right-hand side, but footstep very apparent here. Yeah, in Shootmania, and that's exactly why he was able to find sense. Heard him from a mile away, as good sense as Zacubus across. 2 players now remaining, 13 seconds for Zacubus to try and find them. He's already by the point. And I think the defensive players know where he is. Yeah, brilliant shot. Runs it with Casper nice and calm. And there's the final one as well. Didn't even need to think about that one. 5-0.
Dignitas not even conceding a point yet. So, Sense, pressure is on you, mate.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, we saw these guys at Gamescom, Team Dignitas, and in the grand final, they almost bottled it a little bit. We didn't see any of this kind of play pushing out from Cower and Garpy, and this time we're seeing things come out into full force. So maybe they're going to talk about things and switch things up here for i46. They're definitely looking a lot stronger together, but we shouldn't underestimate Sterling. Of course, in every game in esports, everyone has their weaker maps. And maybe it's a case of Sterling not just being too strong at this one compared to others.
Yeah, like they played a phenomenal Fortress. So. Exactly. There is Sense with that rail on Garpy and Cower. 1 defender remaining, just Zacubus. You see the nameplate of Zacubus just there from Sense. Do that jump and misses Zacubus, and Zacubus obviously not able to hit him. 3 lives on Sense, looking for that rail. If Zacubus peaks too much, he will be taken down. But there you go, Sterling able to take that round. So 5-1 on the score. Cower up next.
They've got a lot to do. Literally 4 match points now, or map points rather. I always confuse that one to go here. 4 Team Dignitas. They are on the defensive round here, Sterling. Maybe they can make it happen, but that was really sort of a lost situation for Zacchaeus.
Yeah.
He had 1 life remaining. The attacker had 3 lives. He also had that railgun. All he had to do effectively is just charge the point and cap it up. It would have been easy peasy, to put it politely. So let's see if they can carry this one up. We have got Bills at the back of that point, Casper and Sens there as well. Maybe Camel can find some early shots as he will dart over toward this left-hand side, giving it open and get those Sens, but Camel's going to wait for that one. Knows that if he does press mouse 1 and fire off that railgun, all the players would be down and shoot during the reload time. There's the second as well. And there's the third. 6-1 here. Map number 2, the Castle. Wow, what a brilliant response.
Yeah, very good round for Dignitas. That's what they needed. And if they was to obviously give that map to Sterling, they would have been severely on the back foot. So 1-1 on maps. We just have to find out the next map.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. I'm surprised that Sterling weren't able to take some of those defensive notes tonight. I still stand by my opinion that they may be playing a little bit too static around the point. Every time you go up against Team Dignitas, you have to expect something different. You have to check every corner. And it wouldn't surprise me if we just stick on the attacker's path through start to finish, that they just run toward the point and don't check left or right, because Sterling just, they don't seem to want to.
Sterling have asked for archways, so we are on our destination.
Yeah, this is a very interesting map as well, because where you've got the attacker spawn and then you do not meet any sight of the enemy until you approach those, well, you can see on the screen there, the archway at the upper left, the upper right, and then you've got a tunnel through the middle. It's going to be interesting to see if Sterling form a line formation back at the point, waiting for Team Dignitas to push through, or whether they'll try and meet them early on and get close to those archway exits, maybe sort of move up around sort of the first rock, small corner. I guess that's the best
Just
way.
an important note about the tunnel. The defenders will be given, I believe it's is it a nucleus?
Yeah, nucleus.
Yeah, which is effectively a grenade launcher that will stick to the wall in the tunnel, or it's wherever it's fired. It's a slow-moving weapon, but obviously the attacker now cannot jump when he's in the tunnel. Only can use his sprint function, and I think we haven't actually gone through the sprint. The movement system is if you jump and then hold your jump again, you are given effectively a sprint.
Yeah, the trick is not to jump and hold it straight away. If you sprint whilst you're on the ground, it sort of drops down slower.
Yeah.
If you hold sprint whilst you're in the air, sort of boom, gone.
Yeah,
So the trick is to sort of, I don't know, tease it a little bit. Jump, sprint when you hit the ground, jump again, sprint. And if you can sort of balance that correctly, you can get some really quick starts. And maybe you'll even see the players get through those archways before the defensive spam comes out.
That's right.
And again, another interesting thing as well is to look at the floor. We have got some speed pads. The speed pads essentially, when you stand on them, allow you to move as it sounds, right, superhuman speed, shall we say. And they've come in since the last match. It's definitely a dynamic way when you do get to the point, because they are along sort of the left and right of that capture point. So it's a lot more difficult now for the defenders to just sort of sit there and wait. Because if they do, they're probably going to be able to dodge all those rockets and get shot down. So we'll see how things turn out.
Well, the reason for restarts is literally just so we can get the attackers in the right position. So it will be, I believe, Sterling on the attack first.
Yep.
As it is loser picks the maps, so fingers crossed we've got it.
Weaker maps, but since they have introduced those speed pads, I think they've almost gifted Team Dignitas the win against some teams they would lose against before. Because all of these players, Quake players, UT players, COD 4 players, SMG in COD 4, which is just, again, a fast game, is literally the game they want to play once you introduce the speed pads. But, you know, this is Sterling's map. Maybe they can take this one out of the bag as we do kick things off here. Map 3, Casper on the attack as he looks to make the dodge around the left-hand side. Look at this time, look at that formation.
Solid rockets coming from Dignitas.
Yeah, very, very nice play. You saw a bit of an aggressive push from Team Dignitas, but they had that formation ready. If the attacking player did decide to just run past them, they weren't just in a line, they did have players sat, so they could fire off those rockets and pick off the flag. as we now have a Cower attacking the Team Dignitas.
As approach this right side, drops down now, looking at the rocket spam from the defenders. Pressure in the movement of Cower, but just down the left-hand side of the map.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the left and right side of the map on this. That's basically the way you have to go. If you've got the middle, it's almost instant death.
Yeah,
it's impossible. And the
honest.
right side is sort of known to be the easiest side, but right now, Casper and Sen's doing a phenomenal job. Already taking away 2 of those lives. 12 rockets to capture that point. It's not going to happen. And yeah, there's the flag as well. Good play from Sterling.
I think we should give Sterling some encouragement. Let's hear a cheer for Sterling.
We got Bills up now. Let's see what he's going to do, whether we'll see him go down the right-hand side again. Usually the easiest side to attack from. We can see the spam coming out. And of course, I haven't mentioned, we did see the horn come out early on, but if you click on a player with the horn button default control, you do ping them. And what that means is it highlights for your teammates where that player is behind the wall for about 2 seconds.
Straight away.
Yeah, for about 2 seconds. And it basically helps so much with team play. And that's probably what happened there. As soon as he come out that archway, the Dignitas player probably pings that attacker. They all knew where it was. There's the flag, easy breezy. 2-1. Let's see if Garby can do this for Team Dignitas now. And his attack around, moving the left-hand side.
You see him like, well, don't want to give too much away. So just do hear his movements now. And there is the visual contact from Bills and the rail to exchange. And there's a second. Garby looking very strong in this round. Moving towards the point, looking for that final player. 7 seconds until that goal opens up, but he does have the position that he needs at the minute. 1.5 seconds to capture this point, and it's a rail or a capture. He doesn't mind.
I mean, the problem really that the defensive player had there is he needed to activate a sprint. To activate a sprint, he would have had to jump. And if he jumped, that would have been an easy shot. So really the only choice he had was just to walk out and hope for the best. Maybe Garby would have missed and I could have hit 4. Didn't happen. The front came out. And now we're 3-1. We have got attacking round from Sen's actually one of the strongest players on an attacking round, I would say, in Shootmania, not just the UK. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what he can do here on archways. A very sort of passive start, actually. Yeah, I mean, it looks easy to hit these shots across the map, but in reality it really is not. And he will find one, but there's the frag, going to be shut down by Cower.
Just predicting his movements there.
Yeah.
So, nice play on Cower there. Zacchaeus on the attack.
Yep. Let's see what he can do. I think the last time we saw Zacchaeus play anything was maybe a brief stint in Unreal Tournament 3, but before that, Painkiller. So this is sort of like his first game he's come back into for a long time. And interesting to see how he's going to be performing in upcoming tournaments, considering he's been out of the game for so long. But right now, he has, well, almost a cushion to work with, this 3-0 lead at the moment, or 3-round lead rather. He is on this middle edge of the map. If he does drop down here, it's going to be very difficult for him to get up there without getting sandwiched in. He may actually go for it. Don't want to give anything away just yet, but he is waiting to perhaps hear some movement from the defensive side. Let's have a look what's going on at the moment. The Sterling guy's just unaware where he is. In comes the dart toward that point. Can he hit it up yet? Will be Bills to find them. Sen's actually getting the second one as well. 4-2. Comeback is on.
Casper is up on the attack. He had a very nice defensive play, but not so strong in the attack. But let's see what he can do. Obviously, this time Casper's not a friendly ghost. He is the man with a plan with the railgun. He's looking for Zacchaeus there, jumping up, able to collect nothing as of yet, but does see just a little leg of Zacchaeus. See that red pixel behind that tree. No connections as of yet. There we go. Garby in the middle there, and there's Zacchaeus. You've seen him too long. They do exchange, and there's another rocket and rail coming out. 1 for 1. Next bullet will kill. Rocket or rail.
This could be really bad. I have a feeling Zacchaeus might have called push on him. You saw all of the 3 Team Dignitas players there group around him. Somehow Casper found two, and now he's just got one more player to work with. He only has one life. This defender needs to manage those rockets. He's not going to be able to do it. The threat comes out from Casper. Waited for that one, didn't fire off, didn't want to get hit in the face. Found the frag himself though. 4-3. One more, and we're all tied up with a potential match point for both teams. So this is Sterling's to potentially take here if they can find this defensive side.
That's right. Do you see sense in that top right of the map? And we do have Cower approaching very quickly. Just slow it down. See the rockets coming out now. One on each side, left, right, and middle.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a game at the moment, trying to just find a shot. There's no way one of those defenders will come over and challenge Cower. They need all three, and you can see there Cower just forced it himself. There's the first one down, there's the second one. Look at this again, he has position. The defender didn't manage to get over top of that hit as well. This is going to be so difficult, but he has managed to get there. One life for Cower. Can this defender connect? I'm going to switch on to him, and he says, there we go, there's the frag. Cower finds it. Match point now, or map point.
Map point, yeah.
Oh no, always do it. 5-3 nonetheless.
The pressure is on Bills, so he needs to take this a very safe round, hopefully anyway. But do you see the rockets coming? Obviously, Bills looking good so far. Very calm, composed. Using the speed platforms.
The question is, how's he going to get past that wall? If he could kill either the left-hand side or right-hand side player, it would give him an opening to charge down. And look at that! What a bait from Zacubus. He was saying, if I'm going to die, Cow, you better kill him or you're not easy to kill. 6-3. Map number 3 going to Team Dignitas. 2-1 now in the grand final.
That is what the Dignitas team are famous for in the Shootmania scene. Using the ability of pressuring one side and then having another player just sneak behind, get that rocket in the back, and obviously, like you saw there, do close up that map. We're moving into a potential final map.
Yeah, potentially. Of course, Dignitas coming from the upper bracket again. If you have just joined us here in the crowd, they only have to win one best of 3 to take the tournament, and £1,000 plus TT Sports peripherals. Second place is taking 500 plus peripherals as well. So a lot to work on here. That's a big difference if you are splitting it 3 ways. So I'm pretty sure Sterling, the team without a professional organisation, will be looking to want to pick this one up for themselves.
Yeah, that's right. And I'm looking forward to seeing Sterling after this tournament, obviously. I think we've just got just a little bit of a pause just in a minute.
Yeah, well, I mean, they are one of the top teams in the game right now, especially here in the UK. It does surprise me that they have not yet found a team. Nadeo have been like adamant in supporting so many tournaments. We've already had, if there's not a tournament in an event, there's shootouts.
Yeah, well, that's true.
And there's prizes as well.
Absolutely. Obviously, Shootmania Sports doing a good job covering the whole game. Literally every single tournament covered. So shout out to them.
Yeah, I mean, you can keep up with all this tournament, shootmaniaesports.com and multiplay.co.uk, of course, live on that website. And check out Multiplay forums as well, a good resource as well. We are going live, I think, here on map number 4, potential map point here for Team Dignitas in the i46 grand final is Cower to attack first for Team Dignitas. Let's have a look at the setup we've got going on. I can see Sens by that left-hand side cage. We've got 2 players by that place I don't want to mention to give Cower too much information. He has found Casper early on. This is the problem though he has, because that final Sterling player is stuck behind that cage. Cower's going to know it as well. All he has to do is hold position. He will be able to find the frag on that defender and then just charge the point. And as I say that, Cower's just going to walk into everything. Sens with the final one as well.
Very nice.
What a brilliant start.
Very nice indeed. Casper on the attack. And obviously, this is Castle Crasher. So there is one thing to importantly note about is the rail platform at the back of the map. Can't see it as of yet. Second we do, I'll point it out. I promise you.
It's basically where you can see one of those players closest to the screen is around that area, shall we say. As we watch Casper at the moment, he's going to switch over toward this left-hand side. You can see Zacubus over at the point. Oh, this is back for Garby, and there's the frag. Even if he missed the first, he would have got it on the second. And as I say the second one will be on to Cower. One more player. All Casper needs to do is get position on the point. Do not fire Casper, because Zacubus is going to charge in, but Zacubus not able to hit anything. There's the first one. Now Oh, he's given Zakiwa's position on the point. Maybe that could have been a huge mistake.
Oh,
No, it won't be.
very
There's the
nice.
flag on the point. Very nice indeed. 2-0 now here for Sterling.
Yeah, 2-0 against Team Dignitas. Garpy is up, and obviously Castle Crasher, one of the most used maps in the Shootmania scene at the minute. So we do see our rocket spam coming out on the left-hand side. Garpy avoids that nicely at the minute, but looking for the opening pick.
This is smart, looking for the player by the point. If you can pick that up, you can dive to the point and get position. Assuming Sterling don't play two there again. And I can't see Casper in the distance and will be sent here. The first one, down goes Casper. One player by this cage. If he can get in front of him, he wouldn't be able to get back toward that point. But it could happen that he does get hit in the back, so maybe it would be better to just try and find this flag. And that's what he's doing. Let's try and switch on to that player, in fact, if I can find it. It is Sens. Currently holding there, but look, Garpy has managed it. Here comes the dive toward the point. Oh my God, saves from the point in the back. That's what I said could happen. It happened right there, 3-0. And let's remember, Sterling took this map of Dignitas in the upper bracket final, despite losing 3-1.
That's very true, yeah. Now, Phil's taking the approach. It does actually get connected by that rocket spam. Literally, the rockets will regen by the time they're in their position, and Zaki was putting one out of the blue, and Bill's on 1 life remaining versus 3 defenders, and Kawa finishes that one off. Nice and quick round, to be honest. 3-1 on the scoreboard.
I mean, if you lose a life point early on, you let Dignitas get around that cage area, it's going to be impossible to pass, because you're almost guaranteed to lose a life as you try to pass by that point. So it's sort of a trade-off. You're going to pick up a flag, but you're going to lose a life. The problem is, if you then did that, you would have been down to 1 point of health anyway. That was a brilliant start from Team Dignitas, but a little bit sloppy from, I have to say, Sterling. But we have got Zakibus now looking to make this one 3-2. Maybe the comeback has started. We'll have to see. As he will dive toward this player. Find the point. Oh my God! I did not see Bill's hiding behind the pole. There goes 1 life point. It was Casper to eliminate the first one. We've got a player by the cage as well. So Zakibus can't really afford to take the left side of that donut wall. So he's going to dive toward the point. He's been caught in midair. Oh no! The jump to activate the sprint just wasn't good enough. Caught with his pants down. 4-1. Now, as we see Sens attacking, maybe map point and 2-2.
It's possible. Sens, like you said, very strong attacking player. We did see it in the first map, Fortress. So, just taking its time. I mean, he's got 36 seconds until that point opens up. So, all the time he needs at the minute. And just looking for Cower, and he gets it.
Yeah, that's the problem when you try to alternate your position and don't coordinate with that second player behind the cage. But oh my God, is that Cower coming in behind? No, it's Zakibus. Zakibus is going to connect with 2. No, Garpy. Wow, Garpy got all 3. What a ninja, I didn't see that.
So Zakibus coming from behind, obviously turned around to hit, heard the rocket spam, and then Garpy able to put them 3 rockets in. And now the pressure is on Power. Doesn't want to drop another map. So obviously they want to take their advantage that they got coming from the winner bracket, and obviously apply it to this game. And now taking a different approach. There is visual contact from a player inside that cage, or just behind anyway. And using the donut wall to sprint behind, and there is Bills on the point. And not able to connect with anything as of yet. Rockets coming from either side. There's Casper as well. So obviously 2 in that position. Cower not able to connect to anything. And 10 seconds. And there's the first kill. On to Sens. Looking for another player before he moves towards that point. And 2 seconds. And that goal is now available to be captured. 2 rockets connecting there. And Casper in Cower's face and able to put that final rocket. Map point now, MVC. Can Sterling take it?
That's what they needed. They couldn't afford to lose that one and potentially make it 4-4, because if they got there, the pressure would have seriously been on them, and I don't think they would have been able to bring it back. But 5-2. They've got 3 map points now. We could see map score go 2-2, and still maybe see Sterling come out of the lower bracket here in the grand final. But wow, Cower going to make the same move as last time. This time going to be successful. We'll find those 2. Here come the sandwich like raptors to their bait. There's the flag. 5-3, but still 2 map points and tournament points.
Yeah, now Garpy knows how much this means, obviously, because they are 2 maps up, and they've obviously conceded one map, which is Fortress. So if they take this, then they will obviously win the Shootmania tournament sponsored by Nadeo and TT Esports. Garpy just moving towards that point, sends, and gets connected with a cross rocket coming from Casper there. And he does have one life versus 3 defenders, so he's got to make this rail count, and he does. Sens goes down, 2 defenders remaining. And there's another one on Bills. I didn't even see him there. Very nice by Garpy.
Yeah, one more player remaining. I believe that is Casper on the point. He's got 4 rockets. Garpy has 1 life. It will take 1.5 seconds to cap it up.
There we go.
The screens come out for Team Dignitas. 5-4. Let's have a quick look at the scoreboard as we do see Bill's attacking round. We have got a winning attacking rounds coming out from Casper of Sterling and Garpy of Team Dignitas. Now we've got Bills for Sterling, yet to win an attacking round here in the grand final. Maybe he can do it here to take them into a potential map that could give them another best of 5. We'll have to see, but he has opened up already onto Garpy. That is a ninja push. Got to be careful from the second player. It does look like the other is quite far back here. Cower just opting not to open himself up too much. Knows that this round could mean everything for them. As Zacchaeus will connect with one of them. We have seen Bills get position. This could give him a shot as players do move back toward the left-hand side of that arch, but it doesn't look like Bills wanting to go for them. Instead, going to give them that opportunity to move back toward the point. I think he's kind of wasted that a little bit, but still, he does have 14 seconds with these 2 lives to eliminate match rockets down to 4, and maybe could just look it out and cap up the point itself, or could find the frags. The first one, the second one!
Tying it up.
Great play.
Yeah, absolutely. Sterling, keep your cool. You need to take this map and obviously go towards that second best of 5 in the next map. But, you do obviously have Zacchaeus on the attack. Now, this is obviously a round that you can't give too much away. But he...
It will be heard in a minute though.
Yeah,
let's remember guys, this is map point. Whoever takes this one will be map point, sorry. And it should be Sterling to win here on the defense, but we have seen some great attacking rounds coming out from Team Dignitas. We've got Zacchaeus up now. Is his railgun strong enough though? That's the question. Bill's rocket certainly is. He'll connect with that first one. 2 lives now for Zacchaeus. It's important that this player doesn't go down, and he has managed to evade the Casper to connect with that second one. 2 players, 3 players by this point. This is looking dim. 14 seconds to find the flag here, Zacchaeus, and he has to take 1.5 seconds to capture at that point. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. No, he won't. Bills to connect with that final one. 6-5, map point to Sterling. They take this one. We go to the 5th and final map here in the best of 5.
Yeah, the first best of 5, we have to know. But this is obviously advantage for Sterling. Think of it as tennis mode. We're on juice now, advantage for Sterling. So, Sent on the attack. He could close this map out. You do obviously see him just taking his time. Let's see the player on the left, and obviously 2 in the middle there.
Left hand side, you get sandwiched by Zacchaeus in the back. If you try to push the right hand side, you have to go up against both Cower and Garpy, and there's only one flag you're going to get there, and you will trade off. So just, it's almost an unbreakable defense from Team Dignitas in some ways, and Sterling have to find a way around it. But is it max rounds 8? Like.
I think we talked about it might have been 11, but
11.
Not 100%.
Yeah, we need to get confirmation on that, but there's the first flag from Cower. Going to eliminate one of those. Can we see a map point on an attacking round coming out from Team Dignitas? It would be a tournament point here in i46 Grand Final.
That's right.
Cower just needs to take down 2 more players. There it goes!
There's the shot to Settings there. Moving on to the point, and it's the final shot from Cower. Advantage Team Dignitas. 7-6 now. Potential match and tournament point for Team Dignitas. This is the comeback that they had on the map. Obviously Sterling took the advantage, and now Team Dignitas looking very strong.
Yeah, we're watching Sterling Casper at the moment. He has to be the man to save the day. Make this one to 7. A 7, there's 2 early rockets from Cower. He's almost been forced off. There's water behind him. And
there we go. The final kill from Cower. Team Dignitas are your victors of the Shootmania Storm Elite, sponsored by Nadeo and TT Esports. here at the Insomnia 46. Wow, what a game.
1,000 Great British pounds going to Team Dignitas, 500
Winners
for
from TT
Sterling.
Sports as well.
And TT Sports, Sterling taking home 500. They've both got TT Sports peripherals. Brilliant game. Commiserations to Sterling, but these guys need a professional organisation soon because that is...
Absolutely.
They had some phenomenal
They definitely
matches.
put on a good show.
Definitely. Well, I guess we can close things off, so I want to thank all of you for tuning in, of course, online, and all of you live here in the crowd. I know we've got, I think, Team Fortress 2 coming up next. So
Yeah, big final.
I used to play it, I'm going to be...
There.
Right there. That's free. I think, is that X time? It is X time, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm going to be there, stick around for that, but I've been Dignitas NBC.
I'm Dignitas Rusty.
And we'll see you all next time for more Shootmania Storm, I hope.